Hi, it's Vex, and today we're going to talk about Thor. That's right. Thor is one of my favorite characters. All the way from a kid, I've loved Thor. I love thunder, lightning, and this is just when I heard Kaldheim coming out, I was like, I've got to make a Thor deck no matter what is on the text box, what Thor does. It doesn't even matter. I'm making a Thor deck, period, because this is my favorite character. I love the Marvel movies. Thor in that movie was amazing, and I can't wait for Thor Love and Thunder. It sucks that the pandemic has delayed the movie, but when that comes out, oh, so excited. But anyways, let's talk about the deck. Enough about me loving Thor. I also had to get the matching playmat, of course, right here. But Thor is represented as Toralf, God of Fury, in Magic lore. So what Toralf does is it's 2 red, trample. So Thor's a red character, very impulsive. It's really cool. Really, I like that a lot. Whenever a creature or planeswalker and opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage. So it's like Trample Bolt. I love how they were able to put this in Black Border Magic. Toralf deals damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. So it's super flavorful when he deals, let's say a lightning bolt deals damage to one person, and then it has like excess damage left over, just jumps to the next person, and then jumps to the next one. Just keeps jumping until it ends. It runs out of power. And we also, Toralf is a modal double face card too, so let's check out the back half, which is the hammer itself, Mjolnir. Of course, I can't use Mjolnir, but Toralf's hammer, 1 in red. Equipped creature has 1 in red, tap, unattached Toralf's hammer. It deals 3 damage to any target, so essentially a bolt. Return Toralf's hammer to its owner's hand. So it's kind of like you tap a creature, or, say this creature here, equip, attach, throw the hammer, it comes back to your hand. It's very, very flavorful. I love it. It just costs a lot of mana to do. Equip creature gets +3/+0 as long as it's legendary, and equip 1 in red. And the buff, if it's only legendary, it's kind of like Thor, the myth of Thor. Only Thor can, whoever's worthy can wield a hammer. So I love this card. So the cool part about Thor here, I'm just keep calling it Thor, but Toralf, is that we get to do trample damage. Imagine a Blasphemous Act dealing 13 damage to like a 1/1 creature. 12 damage will just trample right over to whoever you want, another creature or just a player. So that is just, that's insane. So let's quickly go over the cool things that we like in Thor. One of the things I like to do in this deck is to donate creatures to the opponent. That's one of the things. And then have a lot of board wipes. Like, this deck is board wipe central. It's kind of funny. Like, other decks I usually include 3 or maybe max 3 board wipes. Here we have, I don't even know, up to 10 plus board wipes. It's insane. And as part of donating tokens to your opponents or creatures, you have tons of tokens because we're just giving them lots of tokens. We have the Chandra Spirit tokens, Knight tokens, so a bunch of tokens. So this is Toralf right here. Let's just stick Toralf in the bottom corner as we go through the cards. All right, so here are the, we like to be in theme. Other damage redirectors. Before I go over the, token makers and board wipes here. Chandra's Incinerators, insane card with Toralf. 5 in red. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponent this turn. So if you deal damage with Toralf's ability to opponent's face, get a discount Chandra's Incinerators. Also got trample. So it could be a 6/6 for 1 red. And the important part is whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent. So this one is a creature or planeswalker. This one's an opponent, so it kind of can bounce back and forth. A source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent. Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or player or planeswalker that player controls. So it's a little combo with Toralf. So you got to start the chain somehow, either via opponent's face or a creature. It doesn't matter. Let's say you go opponent's face for 6. Then Chandra's Incinerator says deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker. You can deal 6 to another creature. Let's say it's a 3/3 creature. They deal the excess 3 to opponent's face. Chandra's Incinerator would trigger again, deal 3 to another creature. Let's say a 1/1. You deal 1 damage to a creature and 2 to the face. Chandra's Incinerator would trigger again, 2 to another creature. You see how it goes. Very, very strong. Kind of bounces back and forth here. The next set of cards is this is so cool. This is kind of like the Stuffy Doll type of cards. Let's actually read Stuffy Doll first. It's one of my favorite cards from Time Spiral, and I believe it's getting reprinted in Time Spiral Remastered. Stuffy Doll. When it enters the battlefield, choose a player. Indestructible. when Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. So it has tap. Stuffy Doll deals 1 damage to itself. That's insane. So this, essentially dealing damage to Stuffy Doll essentially deals damage to the target player or the player that you chose, the chosen player. So this doesn't actually target, can get around Leyline. So it's really cool. I love playing this back in the day in Time Smart Block. You just tap, deal damage to itself, bam, 1 damage to whoever, because it has indestructible. You can take whatever damage. We have the new version of Stuffy Doll, Brash Taunter. Again, they both cost 5 mana value. I gotta get used to saying that now. Both indestructible. Wherever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponents. So this one can deal damage to different opponents. And then the cool part is you could just, 2 in red, tap it. Brash Taunter fights another target creature. So the opponent has a big creature. You could fight it. Actually, you could fight your own creature. Why not? So it's really cool there. Okay, so we have a new card from Zendakar, Rising Leyline Tyrant. Flying, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end, so 2 red. So whenever it dies, you may pay any amount of red. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. So kind of like you're pulling your red mana and then dealing some breathing fire. So, I forgot. These are the creature damage ways to do damage, non-combat damage via creatures. So Leyline Tyrant is a way to do it. When it dies, Dragoseth, it's insane. Flying, it deals 4 damage to any target when it attacks, or 3 damage up to 2 other targets. So it's kind of like splash damage. There's 4 and then 3 splash. So that's insane. Do some combat damage there. Ryushi. So it's one of the dragon spirits from Kamigawa. It's flying. Of course, a bunch of flying creatures. It's a dragon. Of course, it flies. Whenever it dies, 5 damage each creature without flying. So one of the problems with this deck is also it deals damage to a lot of non-flying creatures. So this deck does struggle a little bit against flying, but it does have flying blockers. As I'll see all these dragons right here. Okay, so we have some creature damage, non-combat damage ways. Then we have single target non-combat damage. Historically, Lightning Bolt is pretty bad in EDH because it just doesn't do enough. But it's very good in Toralf because you can deal 3 and then excess damage deal to somebody else. So, and it kills, little creature. I think as EDH, the format speeds up, creatures are getting a little smaller because people are trying to be more efficient playing creatures. So Lightning Bolt does good work. A Braid does good work. It gives you, kill a creature or an artifact. So there's still an option of killing an artifact. Very good work. Mizian Mortars. So these are like single targeted with an option of overloading to do a board wipe, 4 damage to everything you don't control. So very good with Toralf. And actually, the cool part about with this is sometimes board wipes like Earthquake or whatever will kill Toralf. So you get like a 1 shot at it. But Mizian Mortar doesn't kill Toralf because it doesn't hit your own creatures. Shadow Skull Smashing. Again, it deals creatures or planeswalkers. I know the new templating now just doesn't do that much face damage, but creatures or planeswalkers, pretty good. And it's a mold double face card. Can come in as a land. And I love this card because it's from Commander Legends, Court of Ire. When ETBs, you become the Monarch. And at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 2 damage to any target, which is sweet already. But if you're the Monarch, it deals 7 damage to that target instead. So, bam, you can just hit people for massive damage. You just got to protect the Monarchy, which you should be able to with all your board wipes and stuff here. And then we have Chandra, Awaken, Inferno. This is a pet card of mine. It probably can be replaced with other cards, but I just love this card because you give your opponent's emblem. So each opponent gets an emblem that deals 1 damage to them during their upkeep. So it's like a negative emblem for their opponent. It's so cool. It does do board wipes. So these are the board wipe part of my deck tech. It does does some board wipes, and it can deal direct damage. So it does direct damage or board wipes. So it's pretty cool. Here, it's not a very super strong board wipe. I would just play Chandra +2, get rid of 8 loyalty because it can't be countered. Get that emblem in there. All right, so here are the board wipes that we're talking about. We're playing lots of board wipes. You've seen some. Chandra could act as a board wipe. Mizian Mortars right here can be done as a board wipe. But Earthquake, the classic board wipe from Alpha, X damage each creature without flying each player, so it even does players. So the thing I like about Toralf is sometimes the games just can end quickly because you're just zapping everybody. You're just throwing lightning everywhere or just fire and lightning everywhere. We have Fault Line, which is the instant speed of Earthquake in Urza's Saga. It was never reprinted in New Border. I'm kind of sad because I want a New Border version, but Fault Line's good. Magma Quake is the another version of Earthquake, except for it doesn't do damage to players. It does damage to Planeswalkers. So it's an instant speed Fault Line, but instead of players, it's Planeswalkers. Now this is a very strong card. This would kill almost anything because Rolling Earthquake right here deals X damage to each creature without horsemanship. So it's kind of like Earthquake, where it says without flying, it says without horsemanship in each player. I've never played a game with a creature with horsemanship. Those horsemanship creatures probably cost a fortune anyways because they're very rare from Portal 3 Kingdoms. So this can kill flyers. Starstorm does X damage to each creature, even flyers, even horsemanship creatures. I know whoever's playing those horsemanship creatures will eat it with Starstorm. So it's good. Also an instant. Remember, these are instants, right? So you can have Toralf on the battlefield, and if somebody points a removal spell at Toralf, you could just Starstorm, stuff like that. Use Toralf's ability. You have Comet Storm here with multi-kicker. Can be used as a board wipe for every time it's kicked. Again, an instant, very good. Jaya's Immolating Inferno. Again, you need it's a legendary sorcery, so it's different. So you have to have a legendary creature on the battlefield for it to work. But deals X damage up to 3 targets, even 3 faces, 1, 2, 3. And this is really a really cool cheap board wipe, which I really love. Chain Reaction deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. So the more creatures there are, the more damage. Let's say there's 20 creatures on the battlefield, so it's like Star of Extinction, 20 damage to all creatures. Very good with Toralf. Fiery Confluence. It does, it's a very flexible board wipe. It's not the strongest board wipe. You pay 4 mana. Deal 2, you pick 3 modes. 1 damage to each creature, so you do 3 damage total, or 2 damage to each opponent. So it gives you flexibility here, or destroy target artifact. You could destroy 3 artifacts, or any combination of these. So I love Fiery Confluence because it's immense flexibility. Hour of Devastation. Now, you gotta be careful with Hour of Devastation because it says all creatures lose indestructible until end of turn. So your Stuffy Doll and your Brass Taunter will lose indestructible. You essentially kill almost anything. 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus Planeswalker. I've never had the non-bolus situation come up, but it could come up because people do play bolus. But very good board wipe. Now, on to the best set of board wipes, Blasphemous Act. Imagine if you have Toralf out and there's 8 creatures. This costs 1 red. You're doing 13 damage to 8 each of the 8 creatures, and Toralf is one of yours. So there's 7 opponents' creatures. You splash over for 13, like the excess of 13. That's insane. So what's going to happen is a lot of people are like, well, Vex, Toralf will die and his stuff won't trigger. So I checked the rules on this. Let's put this aside here. This is how it works, because damage works differently in the rules versus destroy. What's going to happen is you're going to Blasphemous Act creature. Let's just find a goblin. Let's say you give your opponent some goblins right here. You're going to Blasphemous Act, right? It's going to deal 13 damage to this creature. What's going to happen is during the resolution of this spell, 1 damage is going to be marked on this creature. Well, 13 damage, but it's going to keep track of the excess 12. I think, 1 damage is going to be marked. The excess damage 12 is going to keep track of in whatever space, and then it's not going to die yet during the resolution of the spell. And then what's going to happen is Toralf will take 13 damage, right? Obviously, from the Blasphemous Act. It's going to have the 4 damage or 13 damage marked because it doesn't affect itself. And then they don't die until state-based effects are checked. So what's going to happen is next time when this spell resolves, you put in the graveyard here, all the triggers go on the stack. So all Toralf's triggers will go on the stack. State-based effects will be checked. Everything will die based on state-based effects. Like even Toralf will die. Then all the damage will be dealt. That's how that would work. I forgot to explain at the beginning, but hopefully I caught you guys on time for that, how that works. So it does work even if Toralf dies. Star of Extinction. Now this is the big daddy right here. 5 red. Destroy target land, which, it's okay. It doesn't really, that part doesn't matter. Star of Extinction deals 20 damage to each creature in Planeswalker. Wow. If you can get him low or get him to 30, and they only have 10 points of toughness. You could, in 2 creatures, you could deal 30 damage to their face with Toralf and Star of Extinction. So that is an amazing wombo combo. I have never actually gotten this combo off because Toralf was destroyed in the middle of my only Star of Extinction resolution. I was very sad, by the way. I would have won the game, but life goes on. Okay, so you're like Vex. I have another problem. My playgroup just won't play that many creatures when Toralf's in the battlefield. I got a solution for that. We just give them creatures, right? We got Humble Defector, which gives itself away, lets you draw some cards. Give it away, deal some damage to the opponent. Goblin Spy Master, give him some more creatures. So at the beginning, what Goblin Spy Master does is 2 in a red. First strike. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player creates a 1/1 red Goblin creature token with creatures you control attack each combat if able. So I've got my tokens here, some Goblin tokens. Varchild, give him some more tokens. Whenever Varchild deals combat damage to a player, that player creates that many red Survivor tokens. Survivors your opponents control can't block, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. So you just give them some more creatures that can't attack you. And when Varchild leaves the battlefield, gain control of all survivors. So try not to have him die when you give him creatures. But Varchild. Hunted Dragon, when it enters the battlefield, create 3/2/2 white creature tokens with first strike into play under a target opponent's control. So you can use some politics, give him some good creatures. Dowsing Dagger, give him some plants, Forbidden Orchard, tap this, give him a little spirit. It's all about donating creatures to your opponent so you can kill them and deal them tons of damage. All right. Next set of cards is the damage modifiers. Torbrand. So Torbrand does +2 damage from any red source that I control. It's really good. I've actually looked at the rules. Let's say you have a Fiery Emancipation that triples damage here and a Torbrand. Let's say you're doing 1 damage to the opponent. It doesn't do 1 + 2, then triple that to 9. The opponent gets to choose how they take the damage. So the opponent will probably choose 1 × 3 + 2, which is 5. That's how that works too. I know these rules are kind of confusing, but that's how the rules work. We have Ember Helion. Another red source would deal damage to a permanent player. Deals that much +1, so it's a +1. Torbrand is +2. So +1's better than nothing. Jaya, what is it? Venerated Fire Mage. Or if another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent player, deals that much damage, +1, so another +1. Too bad Jaya does 2 damage for her ability, but she doesn't do the extra damage with her static. Oh well. Furnace of Wrath, double damage. Now it's double damage everywhere. Even your opponents do double damage. Just remember that. Dictator of the Twin Gods, so it's like a Furnace of Wrath, double damage. Fiery Emancipation. Now this is different. This is if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple. So only your stuff deals triple. It's really good. Okay. Then we have some, the usual fare, protection, Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, because people will target Toralf if they don't want to get zapped to death. So you got to protect Toralf a little bit. Darksteel Plate. Now, if you have Swiftfoot Boots equipped in Toralf and you do the board wipe, Toralf will still die. But Darksteel Plate will protect Toralf because it gives it indestructible. Sword of Fire and Ice, same thing. It gives it pro red, which you want. Sword of Sinew and Steel, pro red. You're trying to give your commander pro red here. Okay. Then we have, since we are playing mono red deck, we need some card draw. So we got Magus of the Wheel. If you have Wheel of Fortune, stick it in there in place of Magus of the Wheel. If you don't, Magus of the Wheel is fine. It does take a turn. Reforge of Soul, more Wheel of Fortune. Jessica's Will, if you need, it does double duty if you need more red mana. You can use Jessica's Will for red mana side, or if you need some impulse draw, you can use Jessica's Will for that. Light Up the Stage, we're always doing tons of damage to players. Get a little quick card draw here. Valakut Awakening, little double face card draw is very good. Endless Atlas, I love playing these in monocolor decks that are not blue or green because 2 tap, draw a card, you activate this ability, you control three or more lands of the same name, which in a monocolor deck you should for most of the time, so it's very good. Some of the removal here, Chaos Warp. I play mono red. Very hard to remove enchantments. Got to have some kind of way to do it. Chaos Warp there. Vandal Blast is insane sometimes. Very good. Some spell copying here. Dualcaster Mage. It's cool. Do some spell copying, reverberate. Here, you could copy your Earthquake or something, deal 20 damage, or you can copy your lightning bolts or wherever, what have you. Pyromancer's Goggles helps you copy things too. Very good. And then we have some hate cards, of course. We're playing mono red. Why not have Blood Moon? Because even if we are non-basis lands turn to mountains, we still could use them. Our opponents might have a huge, bigger problem playing 5-color decks like Golos or whatever. Some people hate this card. They're very salty about it. But, I think there's some reasonable like justification for having some kind of punishment for playing too many colors. And this is one of them. So we got some mana generation here. Some mana ramp section here. Mana Geyser is insane. All your opponents tap out. You make 1 red for each of them. For each land that they tap. And then they have the Eternal. Again, adds 1 red for each life your opponent's lost. So good way to add some mana here. Also has a creature to use the hammer. I forgot to mention, I do use the hammer quite a bit, actually. This hammer. Because what happens is I can't find a good place to put Toralf down and do a board wipe because they won't play creatures. So all I'll just do is do a hammer and just pick off creatures and return Toralf to back to my hand. So it still has the same CNC. So you can always use the hammer side. Anyways, enough of that detour. Some more ramp. Burnished Heart gets good land. This deck does want a lot. It's very mana hungry because it's doing those X spells here. Solemn Simulacrum, Wayfarer's Bauble, Ruby Medallion, Soul Ring, of course, only Soul Ring. Arcane Signet, even though we have a 1-colored commander, it's much better than Fire Diamond because it comes to play untapped. So we'll play that instead of Fire Diamond. Mind Stone, Thran Dynamo. And again, in monocolored decks that are not green, Cage Sun is absolutely insane. When ETBs, you choose a color, red. Creatures you control of chosen color gets +1/+1. Whenever land's ability adds 1 or more mana of chosen color to mana pool, add an extra 1. Very good. All right, the lands. Sometimes I love playing monocolored decks because the lands are just so simple. I don't have to think about dual colors. I don't have to think about which color I need most. Usually it's green if green's in the deck, but here it's just all red. And if I'm playing all red, I'm playing Valakut, which counts mountains and deals some damage. Nykthos, might have a bunch of red permanents. Remnant Ruins. This is cool because this still deals some non-combat damage to opponents. Might get in there, kill them. And if I'm playing in one desert, I might play the other desert. Scavenger Grounds, Graveyard Hate, good. Strip Mine. I can afford to play a couple extra non-red cards, but not too many. Strip Mine is very good utility card. Best land destructions out there. War Room, more card draw, but in land form. Again, pay life equal number of colors in your commander's color identity. 1, because I might have a 1-colored commander. Myriad Landscape, need some more lands. And snow-covered swamps. And of course, I did not open enough Kaldheim, so I put some Modern Horizon snow-covered swamps in there. But that is the deck. I mean, I really love playing this deck. This is my favorite character. This deck is super fun to play. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this deck tech, give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for alerts of my videos coming out. I have the deck list in the description below with TCG Player affiliate link. But let me just shuffle this deck up, I love this deck. And do a quick goldfishing. I think goldfishing is going to be a little interesting because I have to have opponent's creatures. So I will simulate that by having creatures from my other decks. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Turn number 1 here. Let's see what we get in our opener. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's see what we get. So, it's hard to goldfish this deck using the other decks, but I did bring some other decks with me, which I'll bring out in a bit. But let's see what we got. Mind Stone, Magus of the Wheel. So, obviously it's not Wheel of Fortune, but, let's give it a try. Sometimes you don't need the most powerful cards. Some substitutes work. Right? We got Valakut, first turn, good turn 1 play. Here, let's go. Draw a card. Ooh, Sword of Sinew and Steel. Okay, so obviously Valakut, first turn play. You got to go to a very long game for this to be effective, but if you do, it's very effective. Turn 2 play. Looks gorgeous in the Expedition art too, right? Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, and it's not even legendary, so you got multiples. Okay, draw a card. Hunted Dragon. All right, good way to donate some stuff to our opponents. Of course, you know, gotta start off with our ramp. Mind Stone. Would have liked Ruby Medallion better, but Mind Stone's not bad. We'll take it. Turn 3. All right, so we can play Toralf next turn, but we don't want to because that's obviously not the best idea. Because we want to prime the battlefield with some creatures first. Hunted Dragon is a good way to give creatures to opponents. Okay, so let's. I think the best thing to do is ramp some more. Right, we'll just ramp some more. We have our own creature here. Get a little snow-covered mountain here, right on top of our Mind Stone. Just give it a little shuffle right here. All right, so we're double ramping. Is good. That's what we want. This deck is so mana hungry, it's crazy. Look at that random cut. See, I'm not even trying to stack the deck. Bam, mountain. That's not the greatest draw. Turn 4. Okay, so let's put a valid cut on this side. More mountains. Put our mountain. So we have 6 mana. What can we do with 6 mana? We can play our Magus, play our Sword of Sinew and Steel. So I think before I do the Toralf shenanigans, we should just drop a bunch of cards here. We want to protect Toralf with Sword of Sinew and Steel, make it pro red, so that's good. But we'll play Magus of the Wheel. Then we'll play, you know, this deck's not the fastest deck in the world, but it does have good board wipes. Sword of Sinew and Steel. Remember, your opponents might be afraid to play creatures because of Toralf, so it kind of slows the game down in a way. But you do have that fiery punch at the end just to finish out the game if they're not, you know, not paying attention to Toralf's ability here. So turn 5, we do have another land drop, so that's good. Chaos Warp, okay, that helps get rid of some problematic permanents. 7 mana. All right, so what do? We play Toralf and equip Toralf. We could do Magus of the Wheel. I think what we need to do is, you know, sometimes we need to refill our hands, right? So we'll just, should we wheel? We could play Hunted Dragon and Magus of the Wheel. And then we can Magus of the Wheel at instant speed too. So don't forget that. So let's just play Hunted Dragon here. Hunted Dragon. Then we don't equip our sword because we want Magus of the Wheel at instant speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to donate 3 knights to a player. Let's see, we donate to one player here. It's turned upside down. That's what you would do on camera if you do a spell table. Turn it upside down and be like, I've donated this to you. And go. Now what we'll do is just pay 2 at the end of your last opponent's turn. Sack Magus of the Wheel here. Discard your card. And draw 7. So you get to be the first one to use 7. So it's one of the benefits of Magus of the Wheel. You can do it at instant speed. Let's make sure. Let's read the card before I do something silly. Right? Draw. Yep. Instant speed. That's pretty good. All right. Let's see. A lot of lands. Not that great. All right. Instant speed Magus of the Wheel. What can we do? Jaya's Emily Inferno. It's pretty good. Here. All right. Let's untap here. All right. So we go. Ooh. Blasphemous Act. Sweet. All right, we got all this lands. Oh, look, Forbidden Orchard can donate a creature to the opponent, so let's do that. Forbidden Orchard. So can we do Blasphemous Act? Let's say this is our opponent's board state here, right? Opponent's board state is we have our Brea deck here. Let's just see. Our Brea deck with Solemn and Baleful Strix. Our Queen Marchesa deck here with these creatures here. Yeah, let's play some creatures. And then we've donated this to our Paco and Haldane deck with these Dryad Listen Grove and Courser of Krufix. They're really trying to here and Paco right there. Let's say these are our opposing creatures. We got a bunch of creatures, right? This is Christmas Land, obviously. So we got creatures. They've been stacking up on the board. My Psalms. Oops. Well, I'm like running out of space. These are our creatures. These are our commander opponents. I've done deck text on each of these, so if you want to check out my videos, I got some deck text on there. I got my Toralf right here. I believe this is turn 6. Right, we ramped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we ramped once. It's our turn 6. This is Magical Christmas Land, but it could happen. This could happen, remember. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play 4 for Toralf right here. We can always play, if we had the hammer side. Again, don't be afraid to play the hammer side. Even though it's very inefficient, you still get Toralf back to your hand and you can play for 4. All right, so we're going to tap 4 for Toralf right here. What we're going to do is do something special here. We're going to tap this, give somebody a token from Forbidden Orchard. Let's give it to the Brea player right here. All right, tap 2, equip Sword of Sinew and Steel right there. And then tap 1, play our wonderful, illustrious Blasphemous Act. Kaboom. We're going to do that. So this is how it's going to work. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to everybody. It's going to kill your Dragon, kill your Solemn, so you get to draw a card. Right there, so that dies. Draw a card. Hypothetically, let's say that each person has their commander on, just like this, board state, right? We're going to deal 13 to Marchesa. 13 to Marchesa, 10 damage to the face, right? 13 to Hero Bladehold. Let's say it didn't generate any tokens yet. 9 damage to the face. 13 to Midnight Reaper, 11 damage to the face. That's 30 damage to the face already. 13 to Knight of White Orchid, then 11 to the face. This is 41 damage. Boom, dead. Right? We're going to talk to our Brea player here. Now, not quite dead. Let's say Brea is alive. But the tokens are sacked. She sacked tokens just to stay alive. We're going to 13 here is 12. 13 here is 9. So 9 plus 12 is 21. Plus another 11. That's 32. Plus another 12. That's 44. Boom. Dead. Right. Death to Marchesa. To Brea. Paco Hardane. Don't even need to do the math. That's just like boom, boom, boom. Toralf's going to kill him. Bam. Now we equip the sword here just so Toralf just doesn't die if our players don't die. But that's essentially what you do. You just let them build a board, play Toralf, and then play your board wipe spell, kind of like Blasphemous Act and stuff like that. Boom. Play your Comet Storm, do some major damage. Comet Storm isn't like a full board wipe, but you can do a bunch of damage to a bunch of creatures. So that's how this deck works. Sometimes you just you do nothing, and then bam, explosive turn. I love it. I love this deck. This deck's so much fun to play. Again, you gotta time everything correctly, because what happens if you play Toralf, and you play Blasphemous Act. This has happened to me a lot of times, so I've learned to be very careful and very methodical when I play Toralf, when I can play it, not. And then play Blasphemous Act. You board wipe everything, redirect damage, kill them in one turn. It's pretty sweet. It's a combo. It's not an infinite combo, so it's pretty cool. Don't be afraid if Toralf's in the command zone. If you need just to do a board wipe, just do Blasphemous Act. It's not unheard of. Just a board wipe when necessary. All right, so that is my Toralf deck, which I really, really enjoy playing. It's one of my favorite decks from Commander Legends. Not Commander Legends, sorry, Kaldheim. It's not as crazy overpowerful like Orvar. Is super overpowered sometimes. Tergrid is beyond overpowered. I feel guilty when I played that, so I took that apart. It's too much power. Asika, really casual fun. Really enjoy it. Lathril, I think I went too far in the good stuff. I'm going to back that down, do more tapping themes, so I'm still tweaking Lathril. But this is one of my favorite decks. I love red. It's just so much fun. We're close to Valakut, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains. Next turn, we play from our hand, more mountains. Do the Valakut thing every turn from there on. So super fun. So if you enjoyed the video, again, give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for alerts when I have new videos. Deck and deck lists in the description below. TCG player affiliate link description below. And as always, have a wonderful day.